Hello, welcome to Yoga with Rach. I'm Rach, thank you for joining me today for a tutorial on flying pigeon pose. So if you've had a go with my Vata pacifying practice, which went up a few weeks ago, which I'll link at the end of the video, one of the poses that we have a go with working towards as a peak pose or peakasana is our flying pigeon pose. If you haven't yet mastered crow pose, then you might want to have a go with this one first, and I'll put the tutorial for crow pose at the end of the video as well. With this one, do make sure that you have done something like the Vata pacifying practice first, as this video is really just to help highlight or talk you through going through that practice so you've warmed up the body, worked through the hips. Just be very mindful with this one as it is that deeper hip opener and arm balance pose. So with our flying pigeon, we've worked with coming into our knee to belly pose from our tree pose. We've had to go with the seated pigeon poses and twists. So we're going to have to go with coming from there into this arm balance pose. So just be mindful, you might be able to work one side and not the other. You might not be able to come into the full pose yet, but practice makes perfect. So from here, what we're going to be doing is coming from this standing pose to come into place the foot and the ankle to the side of the thigh. Doesn't matter which side you start with. And we're bending the knee as we're coming down into this standing pigeon pose from our chair pose. We want to keep the foot that's lifted nice and active, as we're going to be bringing the hands down to the mat to wrap that foot around the upper arm, the bicep, tricep of the opposite arm. So I'm using my right leg, so I'm using my left upper arm to support the hand. Now if you're getting to this point where you can't reach the floor yet, then bring the floor to you. So you might be using a bolster and placing that on the mat and lifting yourself up, so you're holding here and you're just starting to find that placement of bringing the hands down towards the mat and starting to wrap the foot around the arm, and then the knee is finding the upper arm on the other side. From there, what we'll be doing is leaning in. So the same way we would when we move from our squat pose towards or up into our crow arm balance, we're placing the hands onto the mat, make sure you've got a nice bit of space, wrap the foot around the arm as we bend into the elbow, that knee and shin finds the arm. As we lean, we might start to lift the foot up off the mat. And when you're ready, we can change sides. So we can come out, have a pause, find your way back up to standing, using that support if you need to help with your balance. So we're bringing the foot and the ankle to rest off of the side of the leg, so you're not pushing the ankle into the thigh. And we're bending the knee, so sitting down into a chair pose variation. Foot is flexed. Bringing the hands down towards the mat or onto the bolster or blocks, if that's what you're using to find this point first. And you're wrapping the foot around the upper arm. And we might be wiggling or walking the hands forward, leaning the knee, the shin onto the other arm, engaging the core as we lean in, starting to lift the foot. And from there, as you can see, I'm not there yet, but I still want to get you guys started. Once that foot lifts off the mat, we then start to extend the legs straight. So we think about the placement of the legs for general pigeon pose. Front knee is bent, back leg extends out. That's what we're eventually going for in this pose. So let me know how you get on in the comments below. Let me know whether you're at the point of finding that forward fold and using props like a bolster, blocks, cushions, chairs to bring the floor up to you, so you find that lean and you're bringing the hands down to a surface rather than straining to get there. Maybe you're still working with general pigeon poses or the seated or the standing variations to find that placement in the hips and the legs. Maybe you're working with crow pose to find that first. Maybe you're coming up into this one, but we need to work a little bit more with the hamstrings, the psoas, to get that leg nice and straight as we push and extend it up. So thank you for joining me. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. Clicking the button here, and I'll pop in a link for the Vata pacifying practice and the crow pose tutorial video. Thank you for joining me, and namaste.